Welcome to our channel. The narrative of how The Wizard of Oz came to be is nearly as magical as the film itself. There are a lot of mysteries about the filming of The Wizard of Oz, from horrible behind-the-scenes maltreatment of players to what happened to the famed ruby slippers. Let's take a look at the dark truth behind The Wizard of Oz. Number 8. The movie went through 4 directors. The Wizard of Oz had gone through 4 directors by the time production ended. The initial director, Richard Thorpe, insisted that Judy Garland wore a blonde wig and heavy makeup to play Dorothy. However, when Buddy Espin became ill due to his Tin Man makeup and work was halted for 2 weeks, the company dismissed Thorpe and replaced him with My Fair Lady director George Cukor. Garland was encouraged by the new director to apply natural makeup and to play Dorothy in a less cartoonish and more realistic way. Cukor eventually left the product to focus on Gone with the Wind, and Victor Fleming was hired to take his place. However, Cukor returned a few weeks later when Clark Gable, the Gone with the Wind star, got the director dismissed. Another director, King Vidor, was in charge of most of the sepia sequences in The Wizard of Oz and assisted Mervyn Leroy with the post-production editing. Number 7. Wearing the costumes was pure torture for the Wizard of Oz cast. The Wizard of Oz performers had to endure excruciating pain to wear their costumes. For example, Bert Lahr's Cowardly Lion costume was constructed from real lion skin and weighed around 90 pounds. Lahr was continuously sweating while filming due to the lack of ventilation. Finally, it became so terrible that drying the suit every night required 2 assistants. On the other hand, Buddy Ebsen's Tin Man outfit was made of metal, and he couldn't even sit in it. When he became exhausted, he had no choice but to rest aboard. He also went to the hospital after a strong reaction to the cosmetics. According to the Vintage News, aluminum toxicity was caused by breathing the metallic powder put on his face every day. As a result of the event, MGM had to recast his role to Jack Haley, who played the Tin Man in the film. Number 6. The Wizard of Oz barely broke even at the box office. The Wizard of Oz is said to have been a box office flop. The truth, on the other hand, is a little more difficult. The film grossed almost $3 million during its run in theaters, making it a huge hit. However, the film barely broke even due to the high production costs, including technical demands, actor changes, director changes, and a ruined Technicolor picture. It was also removed from cinemas sooner than competitive films such as Gone with the Wind, which remained on screen for years. Number 5. A set designer took home the famous ruby slippers for free. In the 1970s, Kurt Warner worked as a set designer and wardrobe assistant in Hollywood. MGM solicited Warner's aid when it needed to clear up its warehouses, offering him whatever costume items he wanted for free. Dorothy's red shoes are now worth $2 million and $7 million. The National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C. has one of the pairs used in the film on display. Number 4. Toto got paid more than most Munchkins. Following her stroll down the yellow brick road, Terry the Cairn Terrier shot to stardom. Is there a point of the contention? According to the Vintage News, the dog that portrayed Toto was paid roughly $125 per week for his role in the film, more than some human Munchkin players. Number 3. It was one of the only films to air on TV every year. Once it was broadcast on television, the film became extremely popular. It made a good amount of money at the box office and had won a few Oscars, but it wasn't until The Wizard of Oz was released in theaters that it became the cult masterpiece that it is today. Annual film broadcasts were uncommon at the time, but the picture was such a rating juggernaut that TV stations continued to screen it. The Wizard of Oz drew 50% of all TV viewers at one time. Number 2. Glinda's dressing room was seriously enviable.
The great and powerful. Who are you?
Glinda wasn't merely allowed to play the more attractive witch, she also received a more spacious dressing room. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, revealed that she used to sneak into her dressing room to have lunch on days when Billy Burke wasn't present. In Algian Harmet's book, The Making of the Wizard of Oz, Hamilton explains, she had a pink and blue dressing room with pink and blue powder puffs, and pink and blue powder and baby oil bottles. Hamilton, on the other hand, characterized her canvas tint dressing area as terrible. Number 1. Dorothy's slippers were almost silver. In the Wonderful Wizard of Oz novel, Dorothy's slippers were silver, which the studio had intended for Judy Garland's costume. But according to Good Housekeeping, the modification was made because MGM studio president Louis B. Mayer wanted to show off the new Technicolor. The Wizard of Oz is still popular and has cult status. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's 1939 American musical fantasy is one of cinema's finest masterpieces. This brings us to the end of our video. For more such videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any updates and notifications. Thank you.